everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. Today I want to talk to you about Central District towns in Pickering. So this is a project I've been following and registering every week to make sure I get the latest information on what's going on. I chased down anyone I knew associated with this project to make sure that I have some way of getting into it. I was very excited about it. Reasons I was excited about it is because they were saying that it's going to be in the 600,000s. It is a really, really nice location of where it's going to be, and you still have a little bit of time to kind of work up towards the down payments and things like that. So I thought it was going to be a very, very good buy. But what ended up happening is that we got the release of the prices. When we take a look at the pricing started somewhere around the 690, so basically 700,000. And the first unit that they had for 690, the way that they're designing this is stacked townhouses. So you basically are going to walk up a flight of stairs and you're going to enter into, if you have that unit, your main floor, and then you're going to go downstairs for your bedroom. So the starting price was units that were set up like this. Now, I've been in units like this and they don't feel so good. So even though it would be an investment for me, I still wouldn't buy it because I don't like it. I didn't feel good about that. I would obviously have to step up into the next category, which was like around $720,000. So now we're starting into the 700s. The valuation becomes a little bit more different for me. Noticing that it is $700,000 now for these units, I go back and I'm actually looking at and saying, does it make sense for me? Now, I'm going to tell you guys that for me, at this point, it didn't make sense, but it does make sense for some other people, I would say. I think it would make sense for first-time home buyers. So if you're a first-time home buyer, you've got your 10, 12, almost 15%. That's what they require for a deposit, the 15% over about 100 or 270 days. So if you're trying to make that 20% down in your first-time home buyer and you're almost there, I think it could be a good bet for you. Especially because you're going to be a first-time home buyer, likely you're going to move into that unit, and I'm sure it's going to appreciate. How much? I'm not sure. It's going to be good because you're going to be able to secure something in this market, plus you're going to have some appreciation on it, and you get your foot in the door. The other people I would think that this would work for is a little bit more of a passive investor. I would say I'm kind of in between a passive and really active investor, so I don't want to just kind of park my money in there and say, yeah, okay, fine, whatever, whatever happens kind of thing. I am kind of at that level where I say, okay, I'll park some money into it, but I still want to know that I'm going to be able to grow this somewhat at an aggressive rate. So I think this project is still good for somebody that has some money in the bank, basically saying, I don't want to get it chewed up by inflation. Here's the deposit. Let me just kind of sit on this, and it's going to go up a bit, but at least I'm going to be better off than having to chase down other deals and look for other stuff, because it is tight to find other stuff. And also, you're not going to face that inflation in the bank. But when I go back and I look at it for myself, I basically look at the resale market. And in other videos, you guys have probably heard me talk about how do I actually look at investing in new construction versus resale. So when this new construction hit, just around the corner from there at White's and Kingston Road, behind the Shell gas station, so on the northwest corner, the same builder built a similar type of product over there that has some resale numbers there already. So over the last 45 days, there's been 4 units that have sold, and the average selling price of this has been $678,000. So we're talking about $720,000 on new construction 2 years down the line from now, or buying it for $678,000 right now, which are 2-year-old units and very similar in terms of finishes and whatnot. So the other thing also is that it's just not that $42,000 in price difference that we're talking about, but with the new construction, you're also going to pay about $10,000 in development fees. So there are levies for new construction, and that's what you would be paying, about $10,000. They've capped it at that. So I don't think it's going to be much less than that. So really, you're looking at a difference of a unit that you can buy right now that's about 2 years old, or a brand new unit you can commit to that will be ready in 2 years, and the price difference is about $52K right now in today's market. When I look at the numbers, I also look for, obviously you guys know me, I'm going to look for long term, okay? So when I look at it long term, what I did was I factored in basically looking out 5 and 10 years for both of these, so resale and the new construction. I use an interest rate, a fixed rate, just to be a little bit safer to do the calculations at 1.9%. And I've actually gone back and I've pulled across Toronto Real Estate Board. We basically appreciate at about 7% year over year since 1996. So I've used a 7% appreciation. So if I look at the expenses associated, the down payment and whatnot, and I say I'm going to buy the resale unit right now, if you guys look at the slide, it's basically going to show us that at the end of 5 years, after expenses, after our investments, we're going to have basically about a $331,000 equity in there. Now, if we are looking at the new construction unit and we do the same calculation, we're basically going to be at about $312,000. So we're still up doing the resale. And if you guys look at the 10-year time frame, that's when we almost kind of break even between buying the resale and the new construction. So this goes to tell you that like if you are more of an active investor, I think that you might be able to look out for more opportunities and things that you might get a little bit better return on your money on. Otherwise, if you are more passive, you're kind of looking at these numbers and saying, hey, you're going to be basically even. But with going with the resale, I would say it leaves me an opportunity. If I wanted to exit in 5 years, I would still be at the same position of buying the new construction. So I'm not saying it's a bad investment. I'm not saying it's the best investment out there. I'm saying that for someone like me, it doesn't make sense, but there are people out there that it makes sense for. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I got a lot more of that type of information, so make sure that you follow me, like this post, share it with your friends, send me a DM if you guys have any questions, want to see the full package. I'll be more than happy to send it over to you guys. Until next time, remember one thing, get Cabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.